What's up, everybody? Good morning. Welcome to a Thursday edition of Morning Scone presented by Brock, the Baton Rouge Orthopedic Clinic, and Hudco Roofing, hudcoroofing.com. Do business with someone you know. Hudco Roofing and hudcoroofing.com. First of all, let me begin by saying very happy Veterans Day to everybody who served. Take this day to honor all of those that helped us preserve the freedoms that we enjoy living in the greatest country in the world. Are we perfect? Nope. Better than anywhere else in the history of mankind? Absolutely. So thanks to all the veterans today on this Veterans Day. Oh, 1 second. Speaking of veterans, I just had to put that on Do Not Disturb, so that way trivia, Carter, U.S. Marine Corps, doesn't get upset with me. If, in fact, we get a call or something like that during the show, which knocks us off of YouTube. I'll oblige today, since it's Veterans Day. So, how about all that LSU and Lincoln Riley smoke? There was quite a bit of it on Nightcap with Scone. Excuse me. Quite a bit of that smoke on Nightcap with Scone. Apparently a lot of people thinking or following flight trackers and whatnot about Lincoln Riley. Well, here's what I'll tell you. I'll say here again what I said on Nightcap with Scone last night, which is, do you honestly think, let me answer your question with a question, because I know you all love that. Do you honestly think that Scott Woodward would hop on the LSU plane, fly to Norman, Oklahoma, to interview Lincoln Riley on Wednesday of game week, or any day of game week, when Oklahoma, undefeated Oklahoma, is getting ready to go on the road and play 13th ranked Baylor to keep its college football playoff hopes alive? Do you think Scott Woodward would hop on that plane? And do you think Lincoln Riley would actually have that conversation today? Those convos are made or had with intermediaries, y'all. Those convos are had with agents. And those convos have been had for a while. Do I believe Lincoln Riley will be LSU's coach? I do not. I believe that there is a faction of influencers around Scott Woodward who have pushed for Lincoln Riley. And I believe that Scott Woodward's top two among his home run hires are Jimbo Fisher and Lincoln Riley. I do not believe, however, they will be able to pull Lincoln Riley from Norman, Oklahoma. So, I will maintain my belief that it will be Jimbo or Mel Tucker, unless if I hear something different. And when I do, if I do, I'll let you know. Say some good mornings here. Brad Crowder, Jason Austin, good morning. Jason Bourgeois, Kelly Presley, hey Dad, good morning. Trey Allen Mitchell, good morning. Pomaroo, flight tracking at its finest, happening elsewhere this morning. Reagan Lee, if you're the new coach, who's your choice for OC in DC? Really depends who the new head coach is, Reagan. Tommy Howard, morning, Matt. Watched Joe Brady rant from last night 5 times. Want to say thank you for that. It was glorious and needed to be said. You're welcome, Tommy. For those that missed it, you can scroll toward the end of Nightcap with Scone last night. Keep in mind, Nightcap with Scone is a night show. It's an after-dark show with whiskey involved, so there is NSFW language, maybe not appropriate for kids, so FYI. But yes, I did do a Joe Brady rant last night. And it's not really ranting on Joe Brady. It's on the people who continue to deify Joe Brady, who gets way too much credit for his role in 2019. Jody Landry, good morning. Brian and Annie Pinton, good morning from Oxford, Massachusetts. Happy Veterans Day, indeed. For those just jumping aboard with us, I did lead with that. A very happy Veterans Day to all those that served, and thank you all sincerely for your service. Enjoy this Veterans Day. John Bro, Matt, watched Jay Johnson's press conference yesterday. He's very impressive. He's phenomenal. I think I might have mentioned this on Nightcap as well, but had a conversation last evening with a scout buddy who said, he said Jay Johnson had the #1 class in the country. He said, and #2 wasn't even close. He was like, he was just gushing over this class. Incredible. Brad, Matt, thanks for making my birthday. Just watched the Nightcap with Scone. Your Joe Brady rant had me laughing so hard. Can you clip that for me so I can play it over and over? You can clip it, man. Just do a screen grab on your phone. Happy birthday, Brad. Hope it's a good one, man. Best to you and yours, buddy. Lowell Cormier, Gerald Mathern, Steven Schneider. Hey, Uncle Benny, good morning. Throw out a little woo pig because nothing says intimidation like yelling at a pig. I'd be embarrassed if I was an Arkansas fan to have to do spirit fingers and yell at a pig. A pig. Ugh. Jamie Honore. Woodward would be on a private plane for something like that anyway, in my opinion. That's what they're saying. He was on the LSU plane. Ricky Lambert, good morning. Darren Perrette, good morning. Thavanka De Silva, good morning. Stephen Fry, Stephen Wallace, Brian Arsenault, 2.5 more weeks. Can't wait for this to be behind us. Yeah, man, I do think the target is to have someone in place the day after the season or within 48 hours after the season. Reagan Lee, so Jimbo is the guy, just got to get the plane landed. I believe, and I've said this over and over, that they are going to, Jimbo is, what do I keep saying, the apple of Scott Woodward's eye. That's the target. See if you can make it happen. Offer him a pile of money and see if the timing works out. Buford Morris is Tucker a defensive guy? He is. Steve Colson, good morning. We'll make Jimbo say no. I believe that will happen. Ricky Lambert. Ray Wright. I'm a Tucker guy, but why no more chatter about Kiffin? Yeah, man, that's just died on the vine, Ray. I'm not sure that how much legitimate mutual interest there was there. I think that was one of the initial calls that they made or vetted. That could also very well just have been Jimmy Sexton, who is Kiffin's agent, who probably would have liked to slid lane into that job, and who's also got the Ole Miss OC on his roster. Blanking on his name, Jeff Lebby, who, if Lane Kiffin moved on, apparently the word is that they would promote Lebby to head coach. Joe Armato, Tony Cortello, Dan Mullen is OC. Yeah, I think Dan Mullen's not getting fired. Remember, Scott Strickland is the AD that hired Dan Mullen, and typically firing assistants is removing the safety net and gives you another year. That's what Ed Ogeron did last year. Remember, he fired both Linehan and Bo Pelini and replaced half his staff. I mean, that was okay, you're replacing your staff, now there's no one else to blame sort of thing. Pat Huseman, good morning. Joey Vincent, Jesse Brown, do you think Camaro is out for a while? Jesse, I don't know, but we'll find out with the injury reports today and tomorrow. Pat Huseman, good morning. PTG Toasty. Avios Jones, Semper Fi, indeed. Bob Poole, good morning. Spurge, good morning. Ryan Pike, we ask you about the same coaches every day, and even though no new information has come out, I'm stuck over here analyzing the differences in your responses to those questions. I think I've been pretty confident, Ryan, or consistent. Tim Gotro, Mark Allen, Michael Mills. Man, I saw a Handgriff explosion clip yesterday. I hope this hire is right and it's over soon. You talking about when he exploded on Condon? Yeah. That was pretty fun. You think Napier in line for any other job and openings, would he be inclined to take one? Tim, I'll tell you that what I was told is that Napier has a a strong connection with the Virginia Tech job. I think if Virginia Tech does in fact come open, I think Napier would be the guy there. There's a lot of reason to believe also if Florida came open that he'd be there, but I don't think Florida's going to come open. So watch Virginia Tech with Napier. Josh Higginbotham, good morning. Lawrence Burley, Mark Allen. I'd rather watch my wife's concealer bake than go through another coaching search. As long as you come through it on the other end. Looking good, right? It's just like concealer. Let's see, Matt, do you still see the angle of LSU president wanting the legacy hire for his impact on the hire? I don't think there's any doubt that he's made his voice known. I also believe Scott had enough influence to get the right people to say, stand down. This is my hire. Ron Swanson, Bailey C. Saints need to draft a receiver. Yeah, they do. Well, I mean, they did this past year. It was in the 7th round, but they did draft a receiver, Quan Baker. I'm sure they will draft a receiver. I think, obviously, it's worth mentioning. We got to see what happens with Mike Thomas. Does he come back healthy? What do they do there? Are they able to land Odell? We'll see. But even if you get Odell, there's no guarantee that he's here beyond the remainder of the season. So, Ron Swanson, Matt, would you want Jimbo and why? If so, absolutely. Ron, you said I need someone to sell me on him. I don't understand that. I really don't. I mean, we got into this last night on Nightcap, and I do not understand. I don't. I fundamentally don't understand why where this segment of the LSU fan base that pushes back against Jimbo, where all of that stemmed from. When he was at LSU, he did a fantastic job. He was the OC for Nick when he came here from Cincinnati. They won a national championship. He interviewed for the head coaching job in 2005. Skip wasn't going to hire him because he wasn't experienced enough yet, but Skip mandated that Les keep Jimbo on as OC, which he did. Jimbo and Les clashed. There's no two ways around it. Their styles were different. Jimbo ultimately left to go be coach in waiting at Florida State. We went through his record at Florida State yesterday. In 8 seasons at Florida State, he had 6 double-digit win seasons and 1 9-win season, which was his second. The only year where it fell off was his very last year there, which people like to hang around his neck like an albatross. But they started that season, preseason number 3, and his quarterback got his knee blown up in the opener against Alabama. That would affect a lot of teams if the core of your team is your All-American quarterback and he gets his knee blown up. So, and then he went to A&M. And look what he's done, the way he's recruited at A&M. They won the Orange Bowl last year. They're in line this year for, another New Year's Six appearance. He's got a Heisman Trophy winner. He's put 3 quarterbacks in the first round of the draft. That's just at Florida State. You got to include Jamarcus in that mix as well. I mean, I don't understand the pushback. I mean, he's won a natty. He's a proven offensive guy and quarterback developer. He's won consistently at 2 spots now, major college football spots. He loves Baton Rouge, loves LSU. If that guy would be willing to leave a job where they paid him $75 million over 10 years and just bumped him up to a $9-10 million per for Baton Rouge, that's a hell of a compliment. I don't understand it. I don't understand the negativity, the pushback. I just don't understand it. And it's been... And someone said because of the Jameis situation, but y'all, that stems from way before the Jameis situation. It's been an ongoing thing with Jimbo, and people don't even mention that really. I think it was Kerry who just mentioned that, but it's more like, look at the guy who just commented. It had nothing to do with Jameis. He said, convince me on the hire. Well, convince you on the hire? Look at the guy's resume. I don't get it, man. I just don't get it. That's like saying, sell me on Bill Gates being able to build a nice company. Sell me on Mark Zuckerberg being a good CEO. What? Huh? I need to sell you on that? I mean, there's 4 coaches active right now that won a natty: Saban, Dabo, Jimbo, and Mac Brown. Well, and Ogeron. I mean, what? Anyway. And I'm not telling you they're going to get him, but I just don't understand the pushback. I just don't understand the pushback. That's all. Jeremy Morgan, what's up, cuz? Stephen Miller, good morning. Joe Armato, Tony Cortello, Rode Ewell, good morning. Riley can stay in Norman, continue to be Bob Stoops, or come to LSU and be the next Saban. I don't know that I believe that, Rode Ewell. His defenses in Norman have stunk. What makes you believe it would be any different here? What's to say he wouldn't just be another Kevin Sumlin, a guy with wide open, explosive offenses? You don't play a lick of defense, and you keep winning 8 games every year in the SEC. Deborah Coward, Aslan Zadine, good morning. From Malaysia, go Tigers, all right. Jason Horn, Ryan Dixon, could Cristobal be the Jay Johnson? Now, that's the one I don't get. That's the one that I truly, honestly don't get. Mario Cristobal has, first of all, he's Ogeron. He has no specialty on either side of the ball. He's a noted recruiter. He's an offensive line coach. He's been a head coach at 2 spots now, and he hasn't been elite at either. At FIU, he was 20 games under 500. First year, he's 1-11, then went 5 wins, 3 wins, 7 wins, 8 wins, 3 wins, and he was fired. Never had real success at FIU. And then at Oregon, 0-1 in 2017. I guess he just coached the bowl game. Then 2018, he went 9-4, 12-2, then 4-3 last year, and they're 8-1 this year. So we'll see how they finish. But ugly loss to Stanford. I mean, he's 33-11 at Oregon, which isn't stellar. I mean, I don't get the Mario Cristobal thing is the one that really worries me, because that's one where you have an Ogeron situation where you've got to hire great coordinators because he's not the guy, Trivia Carter, good morning. Happy Veterans Day. Oh, man, it's 7:50. I got to go. If LSU becomes bowl eligible, the new coach will be hired before the bowl game. Yes, and he will not coach the bowl game. They've already determined Ed would coach the bowl game if LSU makes one. Stephen Miller, looking back on the coaching search, I'll be more prepared mentally for the next coaching search. Lots of names immediately put out there, obviously, by their agents, not so much sourcing from LSU. Not exactly, Stephen. I mean, that's the names that got put out early were early lists from, I'll tell you from my perspective, were people inside of LSU. But you just got to remember that you start with a big list, you gauge interest, and then you pare down your list and you zero in on your focus. So it's not that the names mentioned early weren't legitimate. Mel Tucker was one of the first names mentioned. Jimbo was one of the first names mentioned. Robbie White, Truax, Warren Beasley. But you know what? Let's hope we don't have to do this again for like another 15 years. All right, y'all, I got to get going. I'm so sorry that I missed some of y'all's comments, but it's 7:53. I got to go. I got to get Drew up and ready. All right, as always, shout out to Brock, Baton Rouge Orthopedic Clinic. You need an orthopedic, go to Brock, Hudco Roofing, HudcoRoofing.com. You can email me directly. Please do, HudcoRoofing.com. A lot of you are taking advantage of that. I will gladly help facilitate. HudcoRoofing.com or Matt at HudcoRoofing.com. Let's get you a new roof. Okay, y'all, have an awesome day. We'll see you. Peace.